Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Questions and Actor Laurent Pitre. I'm your host, Laurent Pitre, and today my guest is the amazing, the incomparable. Who are you?
My name is Lisa, formerly Drupsteen, making the adjustment to my married name, Hendel.
Hey,
I
nice.
don't even know what my name is right now.
I know. I that's kind of why I left it at that, but it's a good first question. It's just the "Who are
Yeah,
you?" question, and a name seems to signify a lot for different people. And as someone who had a existential crisis with his own name, my full name is Laurent David McQuaig Pitre, and such a mouthful.
sure
I
is.
switched it around a whole bunch of different times, so I can only ask you a follow up then, and leads us into the beginning of our conversation.
Yeah.
What's it like to become who you are today because your name is changing, and what does that mean for you right now? How do you feel about that? And you got married. That's amazing. Tell me about all
I
that.
know. Side note, I got married since I saw you
I know.
last.
I know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I think I'm still holding on to the Drupsteen.
Mm.
And so the way I'm looking at it right now is it's just becoming my new stage name, Lisa Hendel.
Mm. Oh, it's like a whole other character in a
It's
sense.
a whole other character.
Cool.
Eventually, we'll go through the legality of actually switching it, especially if we have kids. But
Mm.
for now, our YouTube channel, the YouTube channel I developed with my husband, that's kind of the soft launch of the new name. So
A
that's
lot
how
like
I see
comedy
it.
on YouTube, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Tell me about so we got a little bit into the who are you right now. So what do you do now, and what have you done in the past that has led you to this moment here today?
Oh my gosh. So this will take the full
It's
hour, I
gonna take
guess.
the whole hour. Yeah, here we go.
Fantastic. One question. You should change the name of the podcast to
Yes, yeah.
one question
One
and
question and
actor.
an actor and a very uncomfortable guest. Yeah, I
Love
love
it.
this. It's the podcast will change names every episode. I love it.
I think it's great. I think it's great. Well, that's a good metaphor for kind of my journey because every
Mm.
chapter is different and evolving.
Hmm.
And gosh, I don't even, I'll try to keep this concise. Please shut me up if you feel I'm
Yeah.
going on a tangent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when we met. I think I had recently graduated from a master's in counseling in drama
Hmm.
therapy.
Hmm.
And so I did that for about 8 years. And then COVID hit, the big
Mm.
COVID, which
Hmm.
changed a lot of my perspective on creativity and life and what I wanted to prioritize.
Mm.
And so I decided to leave that career behind.
Mm.
Everyone thought I was a little bit kooky banana, but it felt right
Hmm.
to quit my job during a pandemic and moved back in with my parents, turned their basement into my little film studio, and
I
their
love it.
basement is like low ceilings. It's like 8 by 8. It's very small.
Nice.
And but, taught myself a lot of the basics because my outlet creatively at the time was a lot of live performance. So improv, and
Mm.
I had been writing a show, Taxidermy Tim, and which got shut down because of COVID. And so
Oh.
my journey was how can I adapt where I can still express myself creatively in this world where people are not allowed to go to theaters anymore. And
Mm.
so that's when I made the jump to film. And so I
Mm.
could keep telling my story through art, and so yeah, that began the journey of buying a digital camera and learning the art of editing and green screen and audio equipment, and I just fell in love with the challenge of all these different aspects of film and storytelling.
Mm.
And maybe about a year passed, and I'm still making just unlisted YouTube videos in my parents' basement. And I'm like, okay, what's the plan here? Because I can't do this.
Mm.
And so then I discovered the Second City Film School in Chicago, and the deadline to apply was right around the corner, and I needed a demo reel. And luckily, I had all these videos that I had just been creating in
Wow.
secret. So
Wow.
I whipped something together. Long story short, got in, moved to Chicago, I think 2 months later, and did a 1 year intensive of learning comedy and film. And it was truly one of the best years of my life. It was so
Hmm.
inspiring and fun, and it kind of felt like you were back in high school with all your friends and like just
Hmm.
having such a blast.
Hmm.
And that's where I met my husband, Michael. And so we really connected over our shared love of film and comedy. And when we graduated, I had to move back to Canada. And I knew I wanted to do something remote so that we could continue nurturing this relationship.
Hmm.
And so I ended up getting a couple jobs as a film editor, because at this point I
Hmm.
had edited all my own films and was feeling like that was a skill I could offer. And luckily, other people agreed.
Hmm.
And so that was really exciting for me. The first opportunity was really like just paid training uh, with
Wow.
a company, Ty Delgatti Picture Post in Toronto. And he
Hmm.
was great and took me under his wing and taught me all this stuff I needed to know. And ultimately, I had to switch because that was part-time and I needed full-time.
Hmm.
So then I became the full-time editor for DIY Danny on YouTube, who
Oh, wow.
is based just outside of Toronto, and she has like kind of her own home DIY channel.
Wow.
And again, learned so much. And that's what re-sparked my passion for YouTube and what an
Wow.
amazing platform it is for creators to
Yeah.
use this to share their own vision of what creativity is without all those obstacles of production houses or trying to find distribution. Like it's amazing for independent content creators. And so a few months in, I was like, should I start my own YouTube channel?
Hmm.
And so, long story short, got married in there somewhere. And then when I finally got my green card after 2 years of waiting,
Wow.
we decided to launch this YouTube channel. So we just launched
Wow.
in September. October was our first episode, so it's still a little baby, but we're having
Yeah.
so much fun. And the main inspiration is just to revisit our days at the Second City Film School, which were all
Hmm.
about just not being too precious with our work and pulling a prompt and just doing your best and then moving on and doing something else. So it
Hmm.
also brings in a lot of my love and passion for improv in the sense
Hmm.
that they're not polished. We're just making it up as we go.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the next prompt. And so it's a lot of fun.
Mm. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I can see it right away. There's so much fun in the process. Even that first video is you guys basically setting up the premise for
Yeah.
your whole channel or for your whole creative process, that it's about fun and about being together with each other. It's really, really inspirational and really cool, and kind of a mind-blowing thing of like, how do you guys have time to do this? And I'd love to know a little bit more on, yeah, on this series, and where did it come from? When did the spark for this idea come? And what do you see it eventually becoming? Like, where do you see this going?
Yeah, for sure. Um, I'll give it like a bit more context because I feel like I skipped over it just
Hmm.
for anyone listening. The premise is we each pick a film prompt at the beginning of the
Hmm.
episode, and then we have 1 week to write and produce and film and edit a short film based on that prompt. And so when we were sitting together, we had just moved in together and we knew we wanted to do some type of creative project together. We had brainstormed a bunch of different ideas, and none of them felt quite right. And then in our brainstorm, we were just like, well, what are we both equally passionate about? And we both just said, man, those days at Second City, especially that class where we were doing something very similar, were just some of the best, most fun, most challenging. We grew so much as creators. So we're like, what if we just take that model and do this and share
Mm,
this process with people who don't have the opportunity to go to something like the Second City Film School and hopefully
mhm.
inspire people to do DIY filmmaking with their buddies, you know?
Yeah.
And so for us, as soon as that was on the table, we knew like that's what we wanted to pursue. And in terms of where we want it to go, we're really passionate about collaborating with other creators, much like yourself.
Mm,
So I just filmed on Saturday with an amazing Milwaukee-based actor who starred in my film, and we've had a couple friends who are also actors on the channel, and the goal is just to keep growing those partnerships and giving other creators an opportunity to come and enjoy this process
mm.
and eventually invite creators in to do the whole process themselves. So Michael and I
Oh,
would team up
wow.
and then they'd pick the prompt and do their own journey and
Wow.
we'd showcase that. And we love partnering with local businesses. So we just filmed at a flower shop in our community and who we love. And so we get to proudly boast what an amazing business this is because we got to film
Mm,
there. And so, yeah, a sense of community and joining forces with other creatives that inspire us is something we really see for this channel. We'd love to be that hub that people are like, "Oh, we're going to be in Chicago. Oh, let's reach out." Like we'd love to we know they offer a space to get creative and try new things and let's give them a shout. So that would be
mm,
the ultimate goal is just giving a space where creators can be silly and try something new.
mm. Okay, so then that kind of brings me back to that question of what do you do now? Like, who are you? Like, what do you identify? Like, I'm not a big fan of asking people to identify with anything, to be honest, or saying like that they are their job, but like, what are
Mhm.
the things that you do daily? Because it's beyond just being an actor, it's beyond being a
Yeah.
film editor, it's beyond just drama therapy. It sounds like a lot of your different skills come together, and like, what do you find yourself? Like, what do you respond when people ask you, like, what do you do?
It's funny because as a millennial, this phrase always made me cringe, but now I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud to say I'm a content creator.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
I'm a content creator. And
Mm.
again, what I love about YouTube is you can wear so many hats.
Uh-huh.
And I've always been someone who thrives in environments where I can do that.
Mm.
So, again, just the premise alone of the channel, we write, we produce, we direct, we act, we edit our own films. So
Wow.
within the production film world, we're doing it all. And then
Damn.
on
Wow.
top of that, I edit the full YouTube videos and
Whoa.
figure out the SEO of it,
Wow.
designing the thumbnails, the titles, the descriptions. And so there's a whole marketing element to it as well that
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to navigate, but I find it really, really interesting and challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I guess that's it. I think when people ask what I do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
my husband really likes, and I admire him. He says, "Oh, well, my wife and I have a TV show." And
That's
I
yeah.
and I really admire his ownership of it because to me, I think I still have a little bit of that embarrassment about, oh, well, it's on YouTube and like everyone
Mm.
has a YouTube channel these days. And
Mm-hmm.
just calling it a TV show makes it sound more important than it is. But
Right.
he's helping me realize that no, it is. We are
Mm-hmm.
launching full 22-minute episodes. They are well produced, and we should take ownership and be proud of that. And so,
Totally.
you ask me again. Ask me again what I do.
What do you do?
My husband and I have a TV show.
I love it. Your network executives. That's what it is. That's sick. Yo,
Yeah.
that's really cool that he frames it that way and that the two of you now have that belief because it's
Yeah.
totally true. Yeah, like what distinguishes a good YouTube channel from a television channel these days? There's more people tuned in to YouTube channels than
Mhm.
ever before, and it's the people getting in now or the people becoming the future network executives, because exactly like you said, people go to see that stuff, like there's consistent work and like you met that DIY girl in Toronto that was doing her stuff and
Oh
she
yeah,
had money to pay for an editor, and so it's like these are big businesses after a while, and it's just people
definitely.
following their passion, and that's been super inspirational to watch you sort of follow your passion, because like when we met, like you said, you were doing some drama therapy, but you really wanted
Hmm.
to scratch some sort of creative itch. So we were connected by this amazing dramaturg and playwright Jesse Stong, who I think deserves his own YouTube channel. I think he had one for a little while. He was doing like dramaturgy for
When's the
people
pandemic?
during the pandemic, during 2020, which is also really beautiful of him. But you know, we connected, and you were such a good director to me. You gave me the
Oh.
exact notes that I needed, both like script and acting wise, because we were doing that show Little Charming, which is like all this like
Hmm.
wild improvisational story that I didn't really have a fleshed out script until we started improvising together, and like you
Yeah.
just letting me go there, you had all these amazing story instincts that come from your ability to improvise and be silly and not worry about like a precisely professional polished product right from the start. Like, let's have
Hmm.
fun and put that out there. And honestly, it was one of my favorite shows to ever do in my like whole career because of it. Like
That's
the
amazing.
interactions we had with the audience and the silliness and the yeah, it was just it was a special thing. It's funny. Like I just yeah, I was editing a theater demo the other day, and I was like, I put that in because I was like, I had so much fun doing that show. I could do
Yeah.
that show anytime, any day. Like I know it, because of how much fun we
Amazing.
had on that. But
Oh, it was a blast.
it made me really think about like what got me into acting too. I mean, like what got me
Mm.
into the place where I'm in now, which was all this like sense of play, but the story was also about like sort of like a kid running away from the fears and thoughts and doubts and feelings of witnessing his parents getting divorced. So that was to me my origin story, a lot of being an artist too, that event and those moments, but also seeing movies and like allowing myself to like step into those worlds and play pretend, like it gave me a lot of hope. And then when I found out you could do it as a career, that was like, okay, now I got to be
Game
an
over.
actor for sure. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
mom and dad. But and no, for real, thank you mom and dad. But yeah, like for you, do you feel like you had any kind of moments early on in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do that? And how has that influenced where you're at now? Do you feel like you're
Mm.
in contact with that precise moment where that happiness or that spark began? Big question.
Big question.
Mm-hmm.
I had probably multiple little aha moments.
Hmm.
And my first one was when I was probably about 12. My sisters and I were big into dance. So we were going to dance classes like 5 times a week. And then I took a musical theater class, which was the first time I had kind of dabbled in a more theatrical style of dance.
Hmm.
And within a year, I had quit dance and was taking acting classes. I just fell in love with this art form of being able to take on different characters and fell in love. And I think that's where I truly found my confidence as a young girl, was through being funny. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, like this is a world where I get to play different characters that make people smile. Like that is so special.
Hmm.
And I don't think anything's more confidence building than taking theater classes as a young kid.
Hmm.
Uh, and so that was very, very special. And I knew that was my home away from home. Like at that moment when I
Hmm.
discovered my theater studio, West End Studio Theater, shout out.
Shout out.
Um, that was my safe space to make
Hmm.
mistakes and try new things and grow as a performer, but also a human being.
Hmm.
And excuse me, that led me to eventually apply to an arts high school. And so
Mm.
that was a really special thing. So I majored in drama, and so that was a big part of our curriculum. And we, were just around so many people that were passionate about the arts. And that was very just life-changing, truly. I'm still very dear friends with a few people from high school, and it's so lovely to see them go on to nurture their creative paths. And um, yeah, very, very special. And I will say, I think when it came time to start picking like your universities and your what are you going to do when you grow up, and unfortunately, I let those voices creep in that said, you can't realistically make a career out of this. And so that's when I kind of started to lean more towards psychology. And I was like, oh, well, I can be a therapist and do this for fun. And so I often wonder what would be if I stayed on that track.
Mm.
But obviously, I don't have any strong regrets because I think I learned so much training to be a
Yeah.
therapist in terms of working with people and learning about different perspectives. And so I wouldn't take that back for anything, but I'm always curious what would be.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And so I think really the next aha moment was when COVID hit and I
Mm-hmm.
was about to launch my musical, the first musical I had written.
Mm-hmm.
We were 2 weeks away, I think, from opening.
Wow.
And on the other side, in my career, we had just opened a young adult center and it was open for 1 day and COVID shut it down. We had spent a
Whoa.
year and a half developing the curriculum, the programming, hiring staff. Like it was a
Wow.
huge thing.
Wow.
And so COVID hit and my heart sank for both, but I noticed a little bit stronger of a feeling of loss and grief with the musical. So that was really, really eye-opening for me
Mm-hmm.
in terms of where my heart truly, truly was.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a big aha moment to realizing that, you know what, I think it's time to use this opportunity to refresh, recalibrate, and think about pursuing my creative path and hopefully make money from that. So
Yeah.
far, so good.
Wow. Incredible.
But but yeah, it's been quite a journey.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's amazing to see that. Yeah, you had that moment that so many, I think, other creatives too had, which was like losing something and
Hmm.
having to either choose between like, do I do more of the same, or do I do the thing that I've been waiting to do my whole life in a big way? And for
Yeah.
me, that moment was film acting and film training that I hadn't done before, which was I started putting myself on tape all the time. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
like,
did.
I see, yeah, everybody noticed it. After a certain point, everyone's like, oh, you're the monologue slam guy. And I was like, I
Yeah.
guess so. I was literally, yeah, I discovered the monologue slam, I'm pretty sure like a month before that whole shutdown or whatever. I'm not
Oh
even
wow.
sure. I think I won like an in-person one in February, and then March hit, and then it
Yeah.
went online. And I was like, but I love this like practice of monologue in front of people and like receive feedback,
Hmm.
and the challenge of if you get into the finals, they give you a redirect. So I was like, hell, I don't want to keep
Oh, that's
practicing in that
fun.
way. So when they had more of these competitions, I was like, oh, great, I'm going to submit to that. But not only did I start like submitting to it monthly, but what I started doing was like putting myself on tape for monologues and scenes that I dreamed of myself being in, like movies and television
Ooh.
shows, and started like believing in myself, like in the same way that you were like, no, I'm gonna like go after my dream and go like learn film school, like, and following something without necessarily an idea. Like it wasn't my idea to like become a really good film actor, to like, but it just like you're following an instinct, same as you, right? Like making unlisted videos on YouTube, not knowing why, and then the opportunity pops up, and you're like, "Oh, this is what I've been preparing for. I had no idea." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which is so cool that you were able to do that, and
Well,
that
you
we had
too.
such
It's
parallel
so fun.
journeys in that way. And now you're
Hmm.
you're you're in the States now, right? You're in Chicago. Is that, am I
Right.
correct? That's
Yeah.
where you're based out of now.
There I
So
am.
tell
Yeah.
me about that. What's been the transition to the art space in the States or in Chicago, was in comparison to maybe like, because you we met in Montreal. You also, I
True.
think, maybe lived in Toronto too at some point too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Took a
you
brief
have an
little
idea of
chapter
those
there.
spaces and the kind of
Yeah.
vibes. What's it been like in Chicago? Like, what are the things you notice there?
So I keep telling it, it's funny. A lot of people, and I think there's this reputation that Chicago and Toronto are very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I find Chicago and Montreal, in my experience, with how I've experienced these three cities, to
Mm.
be very similar in terms of accessible, independent, creative work.
Oh, cool.
So the comedy scene here is just absolutely incredible.
Right.
There's so many venues, so many communities, and if you just want stage time, like you can easily find it. If you want to rent out a
Wow.
theater for $100, you can find it. I
Wow.
found that more challenging in somewhere like Toronto,
Oh yeah.
where
Yeah. Good luck finding anything for a
good
hundred
luck.
dollars in Toronto. Yeah.
Exactly. So I've been feeling very generous, or sorry, very blessed in terms of the generosity of the community here.
Mm.
And people are so kind and just excited to collaborate. And even people who have been open to getting on the channel so far, knowing it's like we're still teeny tiny and like we're not
Wow.
monetized, and but they're like, heck yes, I want to do something fun. Like let's create together. And that's
Wow.
a really, really beautiful spirit that I've noticed about Chicago. And
Mm.
I'm very lucky in terms of what helped this transition is I lived here for a year for the program. And so we
Oh yeah.
met so many people through the program that we're still in touch with, that's stuck around Chicago. And so I didn't feel like I was starting from the bottom in terms of
Mm-hmm.
starting over and having to build new community.
Yeah.
We had a really nice sense of a group here already, which was really, really great.
Mm.
And but yeah, comedy, Chicago. Highly
Chicago.
recommend it.
Nice.
Chicago. Come check it out.
Wow, Chicago. Oh,
Chicago.
wow. So cool. I'm so happy that you're in a good space like that. Like it's nice to find a community and a place that you really dig as an artist. I think like I know a few artists that are like, I'm like having a trouble here, and like it's like I don't like the things that are happening, or I like people don't like me. I'm like, sometimes like you just gotta move. Like,
Right.
unfortunately, it's like sometimes like wherever you're located might not be your place. It might not be the weather that's right for you. It might not be,
Yeah.
the style of work that is received well, so I encourage people like, yo, like save a little money, get some, like
Yeah.
travel a little bit, like you did.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's unrealistic and a bad idea to uproot and go somewhere else that you have no
Absolutely.
idea.
Yeah.
I honestly recommend most people go visit the place you think you want to
Oh.
go for a week or two, or do like you did, a program or an
Yeah.
intensive. Feel the vibe, because there's so many
Yeah.
people who want to live in Toronto, or they want to live in Montreal, or they want to live in Chicago or New York City or LA, but they've never been to those places, and they arrive there and they go, I hate this place. And it's like,
I
well,
know.
yeah, because maybe it's not your vibe. So like, I don't know what
It's so
yeah.
easy to romanticize the idea of what these cities are,
Yeah.
but it's so funny. Like I came to Chicago for a drama therapy conference 2018-ish.
Uh-huh.
I have no concept of time. But
Neither do I.
almost immediately I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna live here someday." Like there was just this
Mm,
feeling, this
mm.
spark of like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, because we went to all these different improv venues to host the
Yeah.
conference and we did improv and just,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, yes, this feels good. And so
Wow.
it's pretty wild now to be here, living here with my
Yeah.
husband and doing
Yeah.
comedy. And, but sometimes you just know, you know?
Yes. It's a remarkable power of the mind too, right? Like I find a lot of uh our outward outcomes are
Mhm.
the result of us believing enough in a thing, right? So it's funny you said the thing about Chicago and going there. Like one of my first times going to Toronto, I went to this like neighborhood that was like kind of hoity-toity and fancy condos, and it was a Liberty Village. It was like this
Mhm.
beautiful area of Toronto, and we were walking around there with friends of mine who I still am friends with today. And but I was like, I would love to live here. If I moved to
Mm.
Toronto, I'd love to live here. And I was like, there's no way I'll get a place here because it looks crazy expensive. But I actually lived there for a few years in that exact
Yeah,
neighborhood, like right
you
near the
did.
statue where I had the thought of like, this is where I
Yeah.
want to be. So I think that like you're saying, it's like remarkable, like that, like you said, like just go to the place. If you feel that vibration, it's like it pulls you to the thing that you want. So I think that that's awesome. You talked a little earlier too about like the thoughts of like what would my life be if I had, or
Mhm.
not necessarily in regret, but like more about
Yeah,
curiosity. So
definitely.
what do you think you would tell a younger version of yourself on this journey to become a creator like you are and a head of a TV channel? What would you give to yourself or your younger self as advice?
Be something along the lines of it's just funny because the path to become a drama therapist required years of work and dedication and it's a small program, only one school in Canada, and
Yeah,
it's just so funny to my younger like to know that my younger self viewed that as the easier path. That was hard. And so
yeah,
I think the message would just be just follow your passion and know that whatever path you choose is going to be hard work, but more often than not, hard work pays off. It might not
hmm
look exactly how you imagined it, but opportunities will come if you just keep walking through open doors. And that's really something I live by now is like you were mentioning this earlier, you and I, like, we don't have a clear goal of what creative output looks like or success looks like. We're just enjoying this journey and doing things that inspire us, and it's constantly evolving and changing. But my biggest thing is I continue to just put myself out there and share
mm,
my work. And things like this come up. Like, I was so pleased that you reached out, and it means a
mm,
lot that you know, even if just one person's recognizing and feeling inspiration from something I'm doing, then that gives me the boost to keep doing it and keep putting myself out there. And
mm,
so, long story short, I would tell younger Lisa, follow your passions
mm.
and don't say no to opportunities that come your way when you keep putting yourself out there. So,
And
like that.
I'm curious. That's some really good advice for younger Lisa and for all the younger actors out there too, who
Uh,
are, or any age actor or human being that wants to act, or have this dream that's buried inside. I think this is like, again, why I want to do this podcast, because it's about getting people to really reflect on the big questions that you know, influence the choices we make, and therefore the story and the character we end up creating for our lives. So I'm
mhm.
curious too, do you feel like that advice is something you need to hear for yourself? Or if there's there's a time traveling future Lisa came to the future, what would be the advice that she would give you? Or what would you say about your life then that would make you just so happy right now?
She's healthier.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Those are good things to know.
Because one
Okay.
thing I notice about my creative journey is I'm
Yeah.
so tired all the time.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
my job for 2, 3 years was editing in an office, sitting
Screen
down,
time. Yeah, sitting. Yeah, yeah,
screen
yeah.
time, and
Gotta get that
like my
standing
body
desk, that
is
adjustable
aching.
thing, or
I
with
mean,
a
I have
little
one. Do I ever
walker. Oh,
use it? No.
I'm using one right now. I'm standing right now.
Oh my God. I don't even think it's plugged in right
Lift.
now. That's how rusty it is.
Oh gosh, that's good.
But yeah, I do think that's something I want to start prioritizing because I
Yeah,
do think it will directly influence my
100%.
creativity and my
Yes.
energy to take on bigger projects and
Yes.
collaborate. And maybe I want to do acrobatics in one of my films, you know? Maybe I
Right.
want to relearn how to do a cartwheel. Uh,
Ooh, wow. I love that. Good goals. Wow. Future,
but yeah,
future Lisa is awesome. Okay, so she's an acrobat.
future
She's
Lisa
healthy.
is taking care of herself
She
physically
knows how to
more.
cartwheel. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely, oh, she cartwheels. That's her mode of
That's
transportation.
how she arrived into your life. Hey,
Exactly.
it's Lisa from the future.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Wow.
that would be all I need to be convinced to like go
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
gym.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
What else in terms of creativity? I mean, look, I still have regular doubts. Even last night I was
Hmm.
talking to my husband and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm I think we should just quit. Like there's always going to be these moments, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just general reminders to stick with something, keep working hard.
Hmm.
Creativity is a long, messy beast, but
Hmm.
it's worth it. And so
Yeah.
just be consistent with the work you put in. And so she does cartwheels and she's a little more consistent.
Uh-huh. And healthy. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. That's really great. That's really great. Again, because I'm an actor, but I like asking these questions to people who don't necessarily. I think it's good to hear from other people than other actors. But what do you think makes a good actor in your perspective?
Woof.
Yeah.
Breathing.
Mm, that's a good one. Not everyone would say that. That's cool. In what
Breathing.
way? What do you mean?
Think about moments that I've seen actors who blow me away and actors who I feel are maybe getting in their head too much.
Mm,
And even for myself, I think a big shift happened with my comfort level on stage when I learned how to breathe and ground myself.
mm,
Breath is so important in terms of how humans resonate with other humans. So if you feel someone's anxious energy, like you can't hide that. It's really, really challenging, especially on film when the camera's like here.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And so I think strong actors know what works best for them in terms of what it takes to get into that grounded mindset, whether
mm-hmm.
that's taking a few deep breaths before a take or taking the morning to just do something zen. Like on Saturday, we had a full filming day, and the actor Matt showed up, and I had the fake fireplace on the TV going. I had some light Christmas music playing. I was like, let's
Nice.
just start the day calm because things are about
Mm,
to get crazy.
nice.
And I think things like that help, um,
Mm,
not only as an actor, but as someone who wears all those hats and is like basically a one-man crew. There's so much to keep track of. And
yeah.
so the best thing I can do is breathe.
Mm.
So that's the first thing that came to mind.
That's a beautiful thing, though. It's so central, and it's like it's one thing that a lot of actors skip, in their training or in their thought. But like, breath is life. Literally, if you stop breathing, you die. So like, it's like a no, but it's true. Like it's true. Like literally, you
You don't
ask
have to
certain screen
convince me.
actors that are stuck in their life. It's like or in their craft they haven't even taken a deep breath from their diaphragm ever. And they're
Yeah.
like, what? Like, that's like when like they don't know how to contact
Hmm.
more than this area. It's because like you don't even know, like if like someone asked me like breathe into your legs, like I know how to do that, but like for someone who hasn't taken a breath or a voice class, they're like, what do you mean there's no mouth on my legs? Are you talking about my butt? Like where am I going to breathe from, you know? Like I
Yeah.
would be confused too, you know? So I
Yeah.
think it's a good one because I haven't heard that in a long time. Someone
Mm.
talk about breath, but it's incredibly important, and I love talking about it because all of a sudden I start going like I start thinking about my breath. And I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't taken a nice, delicious breath in a
I
while, and it's like,
know.
oh, that's a good reminder. And I get like my posture gets better,
Yeah.
and I start like being more conscious of like, how's my body doing? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Let me breathe into that. So thank you
Keep
for the
your feet on
reminder
the
for
ground.
me.
Yeah.
This is
Of course.
good.
Anytime. Breathe.
This is good. This is really good. Any other thoughts that come in? Because you said that's like the first sort of thing. Are there any other
Mm.
key sort of things that you think for yourself or for others in terms of acting?
I mean, the thing definitely, especially for comedy, but can apply to all genres, is be
Mm-hmm.
playful. Try
Mm-hmm.
new things. You know, take the script and then really truly flip around and be like, okay, this is how I've envisioned it, but what if I try it like this character who's completely different? Even if it's just a zany improv exercise that gets you more comfortable with the character. But more often than not, like through improv and play and, oh, okay, let's do an improvised take. Like that's something we did a lot at the Second City where we'd get the footage we needed based on the script. And then we'd be like, okay, let's do a fun take.
Mm-hmm.
And this was just a moment to, you could ad lib your lines, you could do whatever you wanted. And like 100% something from that take would end up in the cut because it's so hard to script certain
Yeah,
moments. And they
totally.
just come out of pure being present and playful. And
Mm,
so, absolutely, just try new things, be silly, and hopefully you're working with a director who's open to that. I think there's nothing
yeah.
worse than like a director who's really digging their heels in. Um,
Yeah, it's rough.
and that's why I just direct myself now.
Yeah,
I'm the best
that,
director in town.
yes, yeah, no, wow, that's good though. That's true though. Yeah, yeah. I love that note on playfulness because yeah, so many times actors end up training so hard that they forget that the fundamental is play, that they began as children playing pretend, and like no child is like making 40 pages of backstory before playing the fireman when he's the fireman, and he's like, okay, well, I have like this beef with like the cowboy because like he, took my wife, and like, they're not thinking about their super objective. They're just playing, right? And like you said,
Yeah.
the rules can switch all of a sudden. Like the shield doesn't work, but now it works again, so it's like
Hmm.
they redefining and rewriting, like you're saying too, sometimes like
Yeah,
giving themselves permission to really break the rules at some points and sometimes play within them, right? But I think
definitely.
there's another interesting thing of like, when you said that thing about the playfulness, because I think that you said the thing about the fun take when you talked about what you
Hmm.
learned at Second City. And I think that there's not enough actors who give themselves permission to do the fun take
Hmm.
first. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They kind of go like, uh like I'll do the one for the director first, or like I really
Hmm.
want to please this person and make sure
Right.
that I deliver the character, honor the character, like as though the character is some like god or goddess in the sky going like respect me, it's like it doesn't exist. So
Well, they want to
just
get it right.
yeah, but I feel I've learned over the course of this experience to give myself more permission to do the fun take first or the like crazy zany idea first, because
Yeah,
often too you don't get a second take. Like I don't know,
for
like I'm
sure.
sure you run your show so you can give yourself and the people you work with the amount of takes you want. But
Yeah.
in this industry, it's rare to get more than one sometimes, or an audition, right?
It's a really good point. Yes, 100%. And I think you've demonstrated that you are really, really strong in this aspect of bringing something really playful to a lot of the characters. Because I remember I
Mm.
came over to your place once to help you with a self-tape. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember
nice.
that. In
Yes, I
Toronto.
do, but I don't even remember the tape, but I remember you came. Yeah.
I don't remember the material. It was something you were
Yeah.
like a drug dealer or something. I don't know.
Classic.
Classic. Classic.
It really is a typecast for me. I'm the friendliest drug
Okay,
dealer.
side note, it's hilarious to see you go from Little Charming to what you're
Yes.
typecast
Oh
as.
my gosh. The type right now, I've grown up so fast. It's insane. It's like,
I
yeah.
mean, it's the hair, it's the beard, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
like
yeah,
you've
yeah.
really just
The
niched
vibe, the
yourself into
drama.
a
Yeah.
beautifully fun niche.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so fun. But what I was
Thanks.
gonna say is I really admired the way you approach the self-tape. And it
Mm,
was just like you physically embody these characters. And again, it shows a level of comfort and confidence. But you're not
mm,
afraid to bring something a little more quirky or like something you
mm,
won't see on the page. And so I
mm,
think you've really found a fun strength there. And
mm,
so, in terms of when you're on a film set, like you said, you don't always get that second take. 100%.
mm.
You want to make the most of it. Because then, if you do it later on, but then you've already committed to this boring version of the character, they're going to be like, no, do it how you've been doing it because
Yeah,
continuity.
yeah, yeah,
You
exactly. Yeah,
can't.
yeah. You made that choice.
Yeah.
Now have fun for the rest of the shoot. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No fun for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but yes, it is just so important to take time with a character and get to know them and find what brings you joy for each character you play. Because some
Mm.
immediately won't connect with you. I'm sure you have felt that with some characters. Um, but those are the ones you just want to get to
Immediately, but
know
then you
better.
just dig, right? Yeah,
Immediately.
you dig and you find it. You
Yeah.
have to find, why am I playing this person today? Like, what is the
Yeah.
fun part of me, or like the thing
Yeah.
that I identify with or feel for, or can communicate, or what lesson is this trying to teach me? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I like that challenge as well.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Hmm. Beautiful. Wow. Damn. Wow. We've almost had an hour conversation, but hey, this has been amazing. I'm curious, where do you see yourself now that you've jumped from 2020 to 2025, from the basement film school to Chicago and running a TV channel on YouTube? Where do you hope to be in 5 years from now?
Um, Monetized on YouTube?
Yeah.
Woo! Pay those
Yeah,
bills.
yeah, yeah. Let's get you monetized. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, yeah. Oh, definitely come in five
Yeah,
years for sure. Yeah, that's a good goal.
that's definitely the immediate goal is just to
Yeah.
keep posting and be consistent and hopefully see
Hmm.
growth.
Yeah.
And even if this YouTube channel doesn't take off, at
Hmm.
least the time and energy we're putting in now can be used as a calling card for so
Oh
many of our
yeah.
different skills. I can see myself going back to working as an editor.
Hmm.
I love the art of editing.
Hmm.
Um, but no, in a perfect world, we're doing this channel, it's growing. We have a wonderful community of people who want to be on the channel and help us
Mm.
out, and we give them a platform and uh yeah. Oh, we also want a comedy castle, maybe in the
Oh, nice.
suburbs where it's
Oh
like
my
a big
gosh.
content creator castle where people can
Oh,
come and we have different
cool.
rooms that are different film sets.
Oh,
And
wow. Oh, that's
yeah,
good. Oh, that's
yeah,
a
I forgot.
really great idea. I love that. 5 years from now, I'm visiting your comedy castle and we're doing
Oh my
some
God.
sort of movie together there.
You're
That
welcome
sounds
anytime.
amazing. Oh my God. Wow. I see it. I believe in it. That's incredible. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, you guys start your own you'll have your own studio basically. Like an
Yeah.
own like production company and everything. You have it right now. You're building the foundation. You're at, it's nothing better than the beginning of something like that, and nothing more challenging too in terms of the hard work that's necessary to make this happen and putting it out
Yeah.
there. But It's
for
been
sure.
just awesome to see you really go after what you want, find love for what you do, find love for yourself to like keep growing and to have gone through everything you went through and the challenges. Like it's just super inspirational. And I'm really
Mm.
lucky to have a friend like you and have an artist that I know that has gone through the journey you have, and to be where you are now is incredible. So before we go, I just wanted to ask you, where can people find you, follow your
Mm.
journey, follow your art, follow your show now too? Like, please
Yeah,
shout out your show and the handles and anything like that, because
perfect.
people need to know who you are and need to see your work.
That would be great. You can
Yeah.
find the YouTube channel. It's just a lot like comedy. Um, our Instagram is a lot like comedy show. I tried to get a lot like comedy, and then they said I was a fake account, so they shut it down. Thanks, Instagram.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
be a
Wow.
lot like comedy show.
Uh-huh.
And then if you want to follow my personal handle too on Instagram, it's Lisa dot Drupsteen or underscore Drups. I guess underscore. Instagram
Okay.
handles are underscores, right?
Yes, I don't know.
Technology. Um, whatever. You'll find me. But yeah, that'd be so fun. I'd love for people to check it out. And we're also, because we're so new, we're so open to feedback. And I feel like sometimes,
Mm.
especially my family, is scared to give feedback because they're all too
Oh,
polite. Classic.
yeah.
But yeah, any like constructive criticism. We want to grow, we want to get better.
Mm.
Very open. So
Beautiful. Well, hey, thank you so much, Lisa. It was an
thank
absolute pleasure to
you.
connect with you and especially catch up on this podcast and for us to have a deep chat. If you guys want to continue watching more of this, please like, subscribe, do whatever the hell these podcasts are, comment, ask questions in the comments of all these videos and or you know in your reviews, and I will try and respond to as many as I can, and if they are directed to Lisa, I can share them to you too. Is that cool? Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
if you guys have questions for Lisa too, please feel free to put that in the comments. She'll be, responding to them too if she has time. She's a very busy schedule. She's running a TV channel.
Very important lady.
Um,
Like building a comedy
but
cast.
but thank you so much for tuning in to Questions an Actor. And thank you again, Lisa. This was awesome.
Thank you for having me. So fun.